Once again, welcome everyone to the Gravity Company series. I am Nalin Miklani. In the previous episode, we had discussed about how gravity companies have evolved into becoming professional hierarchies. In these organizations, management has become more of a process and less of an ambition. Everything, corporate improvements of any kind, customer, operational, go through layers of approvals. There is a creator, there's a reviewer, there's an approver, and in reality, these are people who are called directors, associate managers, vice presidents. These are smart professional people organized in a hierarchy. That is why I call them professional hierarchies. Professional hierarchies produce safe and reliable results. They produce steady execution, incremental growth, and modest margin improvement. Over time, in order to minimize risk and optimize, they start focusing on themselves more than on the market. And they do so under worthy banners such as creating culture, developing leadership, managing governance. All of it makes sure that professional hierarchies do not deliver extraordinary outcomes. In the AI era, where reinvention has become the new benchmark, gravity companies will need to begin by restating their ambition and dismantling the professional hierarchies. This is easier said than done. Markets are mature, competition is entrenched, and there is a risk in reinvention. But reinvention is necessary, and it requires an ambition that is meaningfully larger than incremental improvement. And restating the ambition is not just a message to the investors. It is a signal to employees, partners, and customers that the company now intends to compete differently. Once the ambition has been restated, the short-term priority should be on one thing, and one thing only: volume growth. Whatever the measure, units sold, policies written, passengers flown, a serious attempt should be made to make sure there is volume growth, even if a little more than before. And if volume growth is harder, there has to be an improvement in the revenue growth rate through maybe the instrument of pricing. Either volume or revenue growth rate has to show an upward tick, because only then the market, the investors, get the evidence that the company has relevance in the market, that it has the ability to win customers, expand share, and that it is not merely defending its current position, that it is not slowly becoming an industrial relic. Now, to serve an ambition that has shifted from optimization to reinvention, the organization structure also must change. And this is not any other normal restructuring exercise focused on cost saving and done on the recommendation of a consultant. The organization structure should be such that it converts the organization from a professional hierarchy into a business enterprise, a relentless business enterprise. And the organization that spends less time on itself and more time on creating markets and making competitors uncomfortable. In the medium and longer term, with the organization reset and the ambition restated, the objective should be to produce a clear, what I call a shift in the pattern of performance. A pattern shift means that investment levels look different. Innovation looks very different. It extends beyond products to business models, operating models, ecosystems. Now, none of this implies that you should abandon reliable sources of existing cash flow. But neither does it mean that every initiative results in just another incremental improvement. A slightly better product sold through the same business model at similar margins through the same go-to-market channels is not a pattern shift. It is quite likely that this pattern shift will involve technology, mostly AI, but it is not a prerequisite. Gravity companies, almost by definition, have been around for decades. They need a pattern shift. In today's environment, today's investment environment, rightly or wrongly, corporate age is increasingly associated with declining relevance unless the company demonstrates a change in the narrative, a different narrative, a compelling new path to growth, a compelling new path to value creation. Gravity companies are already valuable to the economy. To become more valuable to the investors, they must convince the market that they are building the next engine of value, not simply extracting more life from the current one or the previous engine. Thank you, everyone. This is Nalin Miglani, and look forward to bringing you another exciting series very soon. Thank you very much.